Hey everyone, and welcome to another Sims 4 speed build video. Crystal Gamer here with what I consider is a pretty kind of cool and interesting build. This is a place that I have dubbed the Vampire Vault because guess what? Vampires live here. And I used a lot of the Vampire Pack. I really wanted to use a lot of the Vampire Pack. I just got that, one of the many new packs I have gotten recently from Santa. So that was really cool. And I wanted to use a lot of the stuff in there because it's really, some of it is really, really neat stuff. I mean, look at the floors in this place. God, I love those floors. And we have them going in diagonal, which is really nice. And I believe that there's more than one type, but yeah, I love those. I think that they might be among the best looking wooden floors that we have at this point. And the new wallpapers and stuff that came with the Vampire Pack. Oh, fabulous. Like really fabulous stuff. So the other thing that's kind of cool that came with the Vampire Pack is the ivy and the wall treatments. There's ivy, there's creepers and things like that. I would have loved even more because I always want more, but the stuff that comes with it is really cool, and you can do some nice stuff on the exterior of a house with that as well. So that's neat. Some of the furniture that came with it is neat, and just all in all, I think you can probably tell I recommend the Vampire Pack. Definitely. That is definitely one of, out of all the packs that I've gotten, that is definitely one that I think is a really good pack. And when you get into cast development, create a sim development, and you go to make vampires, they have some really cool stuff there too. The outfits, the hair, the ears. I got so happy because we can do pointed ears. The only thing, they only let us do them on vampires. Like, I want to do them on regular people because I want to create elves, because that would just be cool. But they only let us do them on vampires, unfortunately. Nonetheless, that stuff is pretty cool. I don't know why they constrain the ears to vampires only, though. I really think that it would be cooler if they allowed us to use the ears, the pointed ears on any character, on any sim. And speaking of vampires, I am going to put out a couple of cast builds on vampires too. I have two different sets of vampires, one that I have that live in the city and the other one that will be living in this Vampire Vault. And they're each going to have cast builds. I'm already done with the city ones, and I'll do I have to post the video still, but I finished the build on them, and then I'll do one on these guys that live here too. So I'll put those videos out as well. I have so many videos in mind, and I have a lot of recorded content as far as video recorded. I just have to get on doing the audio recording and the editing and all that splicing and everything that goes with doing the video and audio editing, putting it all together. Fun stuff. But yeah, this build is some of the cool features. Let me tell you about some of the cool features of this build so that you know what to anticipate, because some of them I think I'm brilliant. Now, but no, the reason that I'm calling this the Vampire Vault is because I am very into vampires, and in a lot of the books and stuff that I read that are along the fantasy line and vampire line of things, they often want to keep their sleeping places, i.e. coffins, hidden away somewhere. And so what I decided to do with this build is it's got 3 bedrooms upstairs with 2 full baths upstairs, and it also has a half bath downstairs. But I wanted a place for the vampires to sleep. So what I did was I created a secret area in the basement, and you get through it through secret bookcases, of course, because what else would you use to get to the secret vampire basement area but secret bookcases? So there's secret bookcases that go to a secret hallway, that go to a secret door. And in my mind, I'm trying to make it look like a vault door. It's one of those cool medieval ones with a, what do you call it? It's not a gargoyle. It's like a lion or something knocker on the front. Y'all know what I mean. Anyway, it's one of those doors. In my imagination, instead of a knocker, it's really a, what do you call it? Like that's on a bank vault. A lock. One of the locks that you would find on a bank vault. So that's kind of what I had in mind. So you go through the secret bookcase opening into the secret passageway to the secret quote unquote vault door, down the secret stairs to the second secret quote unquote vault door, and then you get to the vampire coffin bed chambers, and those are available on the gallery, by the way. I have a red version and a gold version that are available on the gallery, and so I end up putting these vampire coffin bed chambers downstairs, and I also have, there's a nice little surprise down there. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm not even going to say it. There's a nifty little thing that I include. I include a few more additional things down in that basement, but one of the ideas I thought was really kind of cool. But you're going to notice this ended up being a longer build than I was originally anticipating. Which happens with me sometimes. I take my time and I just kind of go at them forever. But because this ended up being longer, number one, it's cut into 2 different builds because the video was going to be too long if I did it in just one speed build. So I tried to kind of split it interior, exterior. So this is predominantly all of the interior stuff. And you may notice there might be a little bit of jumping around, and you may see some items that you're like, hey, how'd that guy get there? I didn't see her put that in. I cut out some of the video as I was going to, especially stuff that it was just like one piece here, one piece there, little detailing things like that. Just because of length, it was just going to be too long. So if you notice, that's why. It's not your imagination. You're not just seeing things appear mysteriously for no reason whatsoever. That is not your imagination. So this is, I think we're working on the downstairs bath right now, and I changed this because I end up taking out the shower and I make this a half bath. I said, you know what, I'm going to do 2 full baths upstairs. One is an ensuite for a master bedroom, and then the other is the second bathroom for the other 2 bedrooms. And so I decided that this didn't really need an additional shower, and I end up changing it to just having the sink and the commode there. And part of that too is I need space for the office and the secret entry to the secret passageway to the secret door and the secret stairs. And see, I just like saying secret a lot. Can you tell? I'm so totally into the secret thing, but it's all secret. And how cool is that, right? But I do figure, you know, vampires they don't want people to know where their lair is and where they're sleeping. I give them a nice big kitchen like they need to cook. One thing, if you haven't played the vampire pack yet, I started off stupidly a little bit with the first vampires that I played because I sent my girl off to learn cooking right away. I had her buy a cookbook, one of the skill cookbooks, and I had to read the first 3 chapters right away to get her to level 3 skills, because that's what I would normally do with a regular sim. I usually want to send a regular sim and at least get them to level 3 on the cooking, because they have to eat, right? And I'm not a fan of starting fires right away. And if you try and have them cook when they have 0 skill level in cooking, they start fires, they cook crappy meals, and they don't like the food, they get bad moodlets. I mean, there's just too much negative with it, right? So I have them typically read cookbooks. So I don't know what I was thinking when I started the vampires, that's the first thing that I had her do is read the cookbook. It didn't dawn on me until afterwards that, hey, wait a minute, she doesn't have a hunger need. So I kind of made it in my head that, okay, well, she knows how to cook so that she can keep up a ruse in front of non-vampires if she needs to. So she's got just enough cooking skill. She's at that level 3 on cooking skill. She's got just enough that she can cook something if need be, just in case she has to put up a ruse. So that's where I'm at with those vampires. I was going to do a Let's Play on those 2 vampires, the ones that I have in the city, but I've never done a Let's Play, and I don't actually play the game very often. I tend to build a lot, and I don't play too often, and in trying to do the Let's Play, I ended up thinking a lot, and I forgot to talk. So here I am doing this video, and I'm thinking, well, that's going to be boring for people. You're supposed to be giving some sort of commentary or something, right? But I don't know. Maybe I'll try again. But I felt like I didn't do very well with the first set of vampires, and honestly, I had no idea what I was doing either. With this second set of vampires that I'm going to move into this house, I will understand how vampirism in the game works a lot more, and what to do with the vampires. And one would think, by the way, if you haven't played the vampires yet, you might kind of think, oh, well, this is inconvenient. Look at, oh, there's the secret passageway. So you might think that this is inconvenient. Oh, I have to go all the way down to this secret passage and everything to make them sleep. But it's not long after you're a vampire that you can get a form of teleportation where you can become a bat and move from place to place as a bat, which is way faster than walking, which I really like. And then down the road, as you advance your vampire skills and your vampire knowledge, you can eventually get the ability to travel as mist. I haven't got that yet. I chose to go with other things. There's many different abilities that you can get, and then you have to accept weaknesses along the way too. But it's nicely balanced in that you get way more abilities than you do weaknesses. And I found that playing the vampires, man, I really like playing the vampires. I just told you guys that I don't play the game too often. I usually build, but man, I think EA Games may have found a way to get me to have real interest in playing the game, because I really was enjoying playing vampires. That's just cool. Part of it is the abilities. I like the power. I want to lord it over other Sims. The ability to be something you can't be in real life, you know? And that's kind of a nifty little ability. So here's this enclosed office that is going to the secret passageway, to the secret door, to the secret stairs, and so on. Secret. Right now I only have one door, i.e. bookcase. There is going to be two, and I am going to widen that area. I changed a couple of times, just like everything else. I always change everything. This living room I change like mad 50 times before I settle on it. It looks totally different than what it looks like now by the time I'm done. So, the usual. But I did the second half of the build. You may be wondering too what ended up taking so long, because there's obviously a good deal of progress, and we're only 12 minutes into it right now, and there's a really, or 12 or so, whatever. But anyway, there's a good deal of progress at the moment, and you may be thinking like, why did this have to go to 2 videos? Well, I kind of go a little nuts on their tiny little backyard, and I created a mausoleum and a graveyard. Small graveyards, just small. It's not a big thing. But yeah, I gave them a bunch of stuff in the backyard that you would expect with, I don't know, a vampire family, goth, Adams, something like that, monsters, you know, that type of thing. And I don't even know how I got the idea to do a mausoleum, but I think it came out pretty cool. But it did make the exterior take longer, doing a whole structure out there and doing the graveyard and all of that. So, and I don't know, I tend to spend at least what feels like a long time on finishing touches. Carpet is something. There I go with carpet. I picked this one pretty quickly, but I have a tendency to spend forever choosing carpets. That room looks a lot more like what it does at the end now. I've already made most of the changes in that living room. That's about what it looks like at the end. And I do take this kitchen. This kitchen right now is the brightest room in the house, and I wanted this house to be dark, and the kitchen was bothering me the entire time because it was light. But I wanted to use the counters and stuff from the vampire set. And unfortunately, the counters and the kitchen set for the vampires there's only 3 colors available. And I didn't love the other 2 colors. One is the white, obviously, and I didn't love the other 2 colors, but I end up switching to one of the other 2 colors because the white is just, I wanted this to be dark. It's vampires, I want it to be dark. And so I end up switching it. And the other color is, I don't know, it's kind of a red, but not really. And here's one of the vampire coffin bed chamber things, and as you can see, I'm going nutty with candles. My objective was basically to use every single type of candle that I had in my game. So if you want to download this build and you notice on the gallery that it says that, you know, there's stuff from this pack and that pack and all of these different packs, it may very well be candles. It could be candles, because I really did. I tried to use every single candle that I had in my stuff to use, which includes those little black candles that you see me putting down. Well, it's moving so quick now, but those little black candles that I put down, those come from the Spa Day pack. Some of them, the ones on the wall, come from the Vampire pack. So they're coming from different places. I can't remember the things with the round thing on the bottom. I think they come from a different pack. So if you're hesitant to download from the gallery because it says there's stuff coming for too many packs, it's going to be little stuff on this build, because this build, there's a lot of vampire stuff and not as much other stuff. A lot of stuff from the Vampire pack, but like there's little things like, see, I just put a suitcase up there and things like that. Like some of that stuff's from Get to Work and stuff like that. So there are little pieces here and there that might be from other builds or other packs, but nothing significant. And as y'all can see, I'm making this into a little storage room, because this is something that you might have in the basement. It's just an area where you're storing a bunch of stuff. And across from this room, we end up having some kind of worship area, I'll call it. It's a vampire worship area. My interest in vampires and the things that I read would make this vampire that is worship, he's like some king vampire. He's an elder, or pick a name. Different books, different stories use different names. He's an ancient, he's an elder, he's whatever. He's an older one, and that he is revered by vampires in existence now. And so this is the room for that. He is revered by different vampires of today. And so this is kind of that facility, their little almost worship kind of tribute place for him. And now we move out of the basement to the second floor, creating this structure for a minute. Little porch in the back. I didn't do much with this porch. I did not do much as far as giving them exterior fun stuff like I would normally, or at least often do with regular Sims, pools and things like that, because in my head, really, vampires are not really swimming too much. That said, if you have not played the vampires and you decide to, when you do become a powerful vampire, you can choose to pick a trait. I can't remember what that trait is called, but there is a specific trait that allows you immunity from the sun. There's 3 levels of it. Like the first level makes you tolerant of the sun, and the second level more tolerant, and then by the time you get to level 3, you are a vampire that can go out during the day and you're not affected by the sun. Except maybe it might affect powers. I'm not sure. I do know that I have one vampire that's up at that level. He's super powerful. He's a grandmaster or something like that. And so he's up at that high level, and I have all 3 of those perks for him. So he can go out during the day. There's not a problem. He feels no ill effects whatsoever. But I noticed that when I try to use some of his other abilities, like say I try to feed from someone outside during the day, and I try to do that, I can't remember the command, but like basically compelling them to go under my spell to be able to drink their plasma, as it says in the game. And so if I do that, it usually fails during the day. So I don't know what the deal is with that. I know that you can have a trait that makes your powers lessen during the day, but I don't have that one. So I don't know why it always fails. I don't know what's up with that. Immunity to the sun, but maybe it weakens me anyway. This is fun. Look how much time I'm spending on this mansard roofing here. Mansard roofing is a little bit tough in this game because we don't have an exact way of doing it. We don't have that type of roofing option just available. We have to create it ourselves. And so it can be a bit challenging. I get rid of this little side roof. It looks kind of stupid to me, and so I get rid of it. And it ends up becoming more of a platform type area because I couldn't get it as part of the main mansard roof. It just wasn't the right shape. But yeah, definitely spent some time working on this roof. I always do. I always spend a ton of time on roofing anyway for some reason. I don't know. I think that I'm bad at it. That's my theory, is that I'm not very good at roofing. That said, this type of roof is not the easiest thing in the world to do. You have to actually know what you're doing and working with roofs. So maybe I'm doing better than I think that I'm doing. Yeah, we'll go with that. Now we are into the upstairs bathrooms, and as you have probably noticed, I stayed very consistent with the bathrooms. All 3 bathrooms in the house are essentially the same for the most part. They all use the same stone wallpaper, if you will. It's the same stuff that's down in the basement, I believe. They all have the same flooring, the same toilets, sinks, showers, all of that stuff, because I wanted to stick with the Vampire Kit as much as possible. And I figured the consistency would not hurt in this particular build. And I do lighten up this upstairs a little bit. I'm undecided, actually, if I like it. I like lighter colors in houses are a lot, but yeah, this one, I wanted the overall to be dark on this house, but I said, you know what, I'm gonna, this one area I'm gonna lighten. And I darken the kitchen, I darken the kitchen cabinets later on, and I end up lightening. I use a lighter wallpaper on the upper loft. It's not really a loft. I don't know what you call that middle area. I gave them a pretty big kind of open area room. And I go lighter on wallpaper in this room, obviously. But, I kind of wanted a little lighter on one of the wallpapered rooms just because the wallpaper is so pretty. Like, I'm really... The way it... I don't know. It sort of shines. It's got this beautiful sheen when you go side to side on it. And I have to say, graphics have improved so much over the years. And... they have done a really, really fabulous job, the game creators have, with lighting and just the way it bounces off things. It's rare. It does happen now and then, but it's rare for the lighting engine to not show colors properly and things like that. Sometimes I notice it happens with carpets and everything, but for the most part, man, the lighting engine is really impressive for the most part. And so we're going through the 3 bedroom areas. The purple one is considered the master suite. It has the doors onto the balcony, though, again, vampires, how much time are they really going to spend out on a balcony? So I put a couple of vampiric benches out on the balcony, but that's about it. I don't spend a lot of time making exterior living a thing because vampires. But the purple bedroom is considered the master because it does have the doors out onto the balcony, and it is also the only bedroom up here with an ensuite. The other 2 bedrooms share the other bathroom, though the other bathroom is a little bit bigger, so everything has its pros and cons. I would have liked a better shape for this room. I ended up with kind of a little weird shape, but it's okay. Doing a little recoloring of the wallpaper downstairs. I had a very dark downstairs. I end up switching it out, as you can probably see a second ago. I end up switching everything to red. And here I try to make this look like a little bit of a wine cellar. I know that they're not perfect wine casks, but I just thought it might be nice to have a little bit of a wine thing down there. And I don't know if y'all noticed, but they have a bar area up top with a big bar rack behind it. And they also have, in addition to that, the case behind the bar, they have 2, what do you call them? I guess wine refrigerators is what you'd call them, stacked on top of each other. So these vampires are definitely into wine. Because, I don't know, it's like blood somehow, I think, maybe. Or at least that's how they associate it in the movies. I don't know. So here we have what I'm considering ancient plaques of some kind going up in reverence of this vampire. That thing that I'm holding right now, I wanted to use that so bad in this build, and I never found a way. I tried a couple of times. There's sometimes a piece that I really wish that I could find a way to use, and then I can't. But I'll use it in another build. I'll find some other use for it. Yeah, here we go, stacking up all the booze, and you can see the double wine refrigerators on the right, or whatever the game calls them. Nectar? Nectar? Is that what the word? I think they call it nectar. So yes, we have nectar refrigerators. That's what it is. And I use these same draperies throughout the entire place, just in different colors. I think that they cover the whole place with these. And they're nice, but I always wish for more drapery. And I would have maybe liked to have, well, yeah, like I say, wish for more drapery. I'm always wanting more choices. So this big open area room thing, this is sort of like a catch-all. I put, as you can see, a bunch of different stuff in here between exercise equipment and chess equipment and just kind of a little bit of everything. And it can probably, even after I'm done with it, it could fit more stuff if someone wanted to add some stuff in here. But it's going on in the gallery and people can always add things and change things however they like. I did want to leave some open space for some flexibility. And here I go adding in some drapery down in the bed chambers. I decided that I wanted to soften these a little bit, and I thought adding in some drapery would soften the bed chambers and also maybe make them look a little bit more done, I guess. And classy or lofty or something. I don't know what word we want to use for that, but something. And we have a bust of our vampire. He wore top hats a lot because he just did. I don't know. And this is the surprise. Did we go? We may have shown this earlier and I just didn't even realize that we showed it earlier. Now I'm moving it. And so this was the thing that I was telling you about. This is a dangerous vampire right here. So dangerous that the vampires have locked her up in this secret locked hideaway because she's just too dangerous to humankind and they don't want her to get out and wreak havoc and make their lives difficult and make them unaccepted and all of that. So they have her locked up down in the secret room, in the secret chamber, behind the secret door, behind the secret stairs, behind the other secret door, behind the secret passageway, behind the secret bookcase entrances. How many times? How many secrets was that? That was a lot. I did well. That was a lot of secrets. I'm going to pat myself on the back for that. And I think I went through it all correctly too. So yay, go me. And now we are at the kitchen recoloring portion of our program that I told you was going to happen. I think it looks better this color. It wasn't the red I wanted, but I think it fits in better with everything else. So. And this also means that we are coming close to the end of our time together today. So I want to thank you for taking the time to watch, for spending the time with me. It's been fun. I've enjoyed it. I hope you have as well. And if you like this house, I know you haven't seen it in its full glory yet, but if you like it, it is available out on the gallery. And you would look it up under the Vampire Vault, of course, or under my EA account ID, which is Crystal Gamer 1. And if you're interested in seeing the second part of this, the link for that will be in the description as soon as I complete the video. And I think that's about it. So thanks again so much for watching, and it would be totally awesome if you could support my channel by liking and subscribing. I would appreciate that a whole bunch. And y'all take care. Hope to see you again next time. Bye.